Guys, I'm leaving for reals now. Welcome back. We missed you.
Yeah, I was just saying that literally happened to me yesterday during our session, and it was almost around the same time too. It's kinda strange.
Okay, then I'll be back.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sucked. My internet cut out. Oof. That's kind of annoying. So now that I'm officially back in business here, figure I figure we'll give them a little break, little bio break. So let me at least have this back. Here. Oh, go. That, that, that. That sucked. All right, I gotta flip. I gotta flip a bunch of switches. Hold on. Bio. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. My internet just decided to cut out, and I didn't notice. So well, I eventually noticed, but I was like, man, my OBS went poof. Weird. And then I couldn't hear anybody. I was like, oh no. All right. Are we all back, Rooney?
I'm here.
I am also here.
Yep.
Is Kaito back? The answer appears to be no. Probably peeing like a horse right now. All right. So of the teams, it was Price and Altani. Okay, we'll start with that one. As we already wait, no, wait. It was Price and wait, hold up. Who was with
Price and
Altani?
Vimac. And
That's okay.
Altani and Kaito.
I put that in my notes in the wrong order. Hold on. So left was. I have Price and Altani. I mix that up.
Price and Vimac, yeah.
Vimac. And then it was Kaito Altani. That makes more sense.
Price went left for once, so it's probably just confusing.
Yeah, the Price is not left. Usually. Because its Price is right.
Yeah. Ironically, Price is left right now.
Is Price also like left-handed? And the reason you made it the Price is right is because you've always dreamed of using your right hand or something?
Stage right. There's right-handed and stage right-handed.
He is putting all the goose stamps on the right wall.
Oh, so you're using inverted control scheme. Got it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm back until Brainy's ready to come in. Did I miss anything?
Nope. Other than me trying to get my head
All
back
of
in the
it.
game because internet cutting
you
out's
missed the big boss.
internet cutting out's the best way to knock the wind out of a momentum sail. So I guess we will backtrack. So what was it you last heard me say before my internet started cutting out?
We stumbled upon some treasure. No,
The last thing was Altani was saying that she was hearing whispers, and Price was just kind of making a joke about hearing Altani. But the very last thing I think before I noticed that you had cut out was Price is now kind of Scooby-Doo-esque, cartoon-like, tiptoeing through this hallway next to Vimac just to literally be on his toes.
Okay, so I gotta roll my brain back a little bit to what was going on. So I'll just kind of sort of start over. So basically, when you heard like the voices in like the left ear, and then when you look to your left, like the whispers shift to like the right ear, almost like a surround sound kind of thing, but yes and no. And even when
surround spooky.
yeah. And when Kaito was talking to you, the whispers persisted.
Mm-hmm. I really appreciate somebody else doing that with words because I do that with words. It's good. No, I'm not alone.
I don't have a very strong vocabulary, as I have
You do
expressed before.
amazingly. You do great.
It's simple.
There
Like,
are
you know the word.
words.
You know the word you want to use.
I usually
I
don't.
It's like
Yeah, I think the problem is
especially
you
I
know
think
too many
doing some
words.
storytelling, right? You got to figure out and sift through for the right one.
Words are hard.
Hard is a word. Hard. I win the spelling bee. All right. Anyway,
I thought bird was the word.
that's BIRB. Burp. But you're a horse. So, what do y'all's do in regards to that well, I guess really what's Altani do in regards to that situation?
Well, I had called out to the other guys to see if they were encountering anything similar, and Price heckled me because he absolutely was hearing things in his head, but not the same whispers I was talking about. So just gonna kind of keep an ear out and see. Oh, I was going to right when that went out. I wanted to cast or like do an Arcana and be able to recognize what's going on with that. Let's see.
Oh yeah, you can always try.
Mhm. Oh, I thought it was stuck, so I reloaded, and right as I pushed the button, it was about to show up, and now it's.
Well, the tricky part to Foundry is I try not to refresh that much because I just get worried that there's gonna be an error that just does something weird.
Well, it just sometimes it goes black, so. But we're good to go.
With the
12 is
12,
super helpful.
well, all things considered, your ability to connect to people's minds in itself is not natural. And hearing whispers that only you can hear is not natural. Yeah, I think that's about as much information as you get on a 12.
Well, that's all right. That's better than nothing. Better than my 2 earlier. um, so I'll just kind of wait and see. I'll turn to Kaito and say, just let me know if you hear anything suspicious, okay? Because I keep hearing these weird whispers, but the guys in the other tunnel aren't hearing anything. So might just be me, but with my psychic blades, sometimes psychic things seem to affect me more. But who
Should I
knows?
say I'm sorry or just keep going?
Oh, no, nothing to apologize or nothing to relate to on that. No sympathy needed. More of just not sure if you're susceptible to it as well, so just to be on your guard.
I'm always on my guard.
Fair. We'll keep walking. I mean, do we see any signs of anything else along here? Like have we seen the re-beginnings of footprints or anything?
Not at the current point you are in.
Okay. Keep walking for a little bit.
Alright, I
Simultaneously,
gotta let Rainy in. I'll be right back.
I was saying, simultaneously, the left path. Left, I got that in my notes right. Price and Vimac left, yes. The left path, and you're sent, so it's Clem that's leading. Like, is Clem ahead or is Clem like on your shoulder? Is Clem
On my shoulder.
okay? So you're pretty much in front and leading and being perceptive.
Or so you say.
I didn't say good perceptive. I said being perceptive. So you are so very perceptive that you totally get to make me a dexterity saving throw as the ground collapses beneath you. into a pit of who knows
Who's doing
what.
the throw? I just got back from going right in.
Yeah.
Would you mentally yell out anything to let us know something happened, or are we
This is
continuing on obliviously? No, Vimac. Would Vimac? I'm asking him if he was yelling anything mentally.
I probably would be yelling. Ah,
I was gonna say
mentally.
like and as a reaction, it's like verbally and mentally. Well, actually, if you were like tripping and falling, would you be saying like in your head, or would you be like, oh shit? Whereas verbally, it's like but in your head, it's like fuck.
Oh fuck shit, goddamn. That'd be Kaidos.
I would definitely tell you.
I don't think words would be coming up.
Just
If it were that sudden,
fair.
it wouldn't be words.
Just a sound effect. Why? Can you mentally send a sound effect?
So you take a bit of a tumble into a pit. So let's see. So first we calculate the fall damage real quick. And when you step in, it is like ungraceful in many senses of the word. Like you take a step, the ground collapses, and it's just like a free falling body in the sky with like, just head over heel, flip a do.
Do a
it's-
flip.
You're doing mini barrel rolls.
Did a barrel.
And you take 12 points of damage, of which
wow.
10 of that is fall damage, and interestingly enough, 2 of that is essentially you landing on like jagged rocks. Like they don't look like they're man-made or anything, just like
Stagmite.
might. Tight hangs might stand up. So like a bunch of like just naturally formed like stalagmites, and you get some cuts from those, but it's really just the impact of like hitting the ground from a 30-foot fall, because it's a d6.
Ouch.
So, yeah, because fall damage is like a d6 per 10 feet after the first 10. So yeah, 30 feet. 2d6 and then the impact. Yeah. Math. I can remember some mechanics.
What does Price tell us? No. Did Price also fall, or was it just Vimac?
Nope, just whoever was leading, because they're the ones who triggered it.
And Price could tell us all about it.
Yeah, I'm sure like Price is probably reacting like in the moment, you know what I mean? Like again, I don't know if it's just like what you say out loud is also
I have a
projected
question. If
telepathically.
he had thought of it, it's probably too late now, but if Price had thought to try using Thorn Whip to pull Vimac up from falling, would that have been something that could have been done?
Not really, because
I-
Thorn Whip's an action, and to do something like that would have required at absolute least a reaction.
Yeah, and if that were the case, I probably would have just Misty stepped up. Or way, if it were as simple as an action or something.
I mean, maybe if you roll like a nat 20, we could say something like that, but
I'm
You
just general
technically didn't need it.
curiosity on how that type of stuff works. That's all. Still kind of newer.
Where
Like, I
did
guess-
my
I guess
thing
if I
go?
had the range, like let's say if it was a 15-foot drop, I could thorn whip him now.
yeah.
Oh no, I'm going to use my thing, but it disappeared. Something happened.
What?
My Cloud Giant ancestry thing, I don't see it.
I haven't touched anything.
It disappeared. Oh wait, no, there it is. Sorry, it's in something. So I will take a look around while I'm down here. Is there anything? Do I need to roll or?
Well, the first thing you see is a few other skeletons that look like they had been impaled on the rock down here.
I'll say interesting. So I just, well, I'll mentally tell everybody. So I fell down a pit, and there were some other people that weren't so fortunate to live through this
I
before.
think you are only able to talk to Altani, but we
Okay.
all can talk to Altani, I think.
Okay, well, I'm telling
Is that how it
her
works?
because Price is just up at the top, and I'll yell.
And I'll
out to
relate
Price,
it.
I'm okay. I'll be up
Sure.
there in a sec.
And I can relay it to Kaito.
Yeah.
So
I was just
basically
wanting the actual confirmation from me because I'm like, are we able to communicate to each other, or are we
No,
just
just to
gonna
me.
Okay.
I think it's just
So
me.
it looks like other people have fell into this trap, and then it got reset because I fell through it. So keep an eye out. And there's probably also something setting these traps because if it caught people before, it would have been a gaping hole. So keep an eye
That's a
out.
good point.
And then I'm going to use my giant ancestor, cloud giant, and teleport back up to the top. You said 30 feet, right?
Yep. Bam. Cloud Giant Ancestry bonus action.
So Bryce, yeah, that was net good. Do you mind if we slow our pace down to make sure that doesn't happen again?
It's
You know
probably
what?
a good idea.
I would say you'd probably hear a chuckle from Clem because it is an imp, so it might still delight a little bit in some of those beat
and
things.
he can fly, so he's not going to take any fall damage. Like he probably just
He was probably just flying there when you fell in.
yeah.
Little mischievous scamp. Like he's not gonna disobey orders, but you know, if somebody trips and falls and hurts themselves, he might have a proclivity to laugh. Take some delight in that. He is an imp. Makes sense.
So I will dust myself off and start back up. Going slower this time, more cautious.
And scooting around this giant giant size hole because you were the giant that fell in.
Well, it would be a giant hole because it's large and also it caught a giant.
And a giant had to have fallen into it, so it was a giant hole.
Mhm.
But
All right, so continuing on for both sides, or
Yep. Carefully.
all right, yep, all right. Further, getting the party further and further apart. Perfect. Okay, so let's shift the camera back to Altani's side. So after that whole whatever went on with Vimac that you totally didn't see, but you know got filled in on, continuing forward, the whispers start to get louder. Indistinguishable words, but a cacophony of voices. And they don't sound none too happy.
Kaido, do you hear that?
What am I hearing?
Yeah, does Kaito also hear the voices, or is it still just me?
Still just you.
The voices are getting louder and very unhappy. I'm the only one who can hear them.
Apparently. I don't hear shit. Sorry, Katie's eating salad because she's really hungry.
Voices.
Well, I'll like kind of consciously try and send a thought out to the voices, be like, "Yes, you talking to me?"
Give me a wisdom saving throw as you say that.
Maybe.
I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. They are in a pit.
I can
Pit
reset again.
in a hole.
Sorry, one second.
So when it's resetting for you, is it like, do you get any warnings like it says like lost connection to server or anything, or is it just suddenly a black screen?
It just blinks and it's a black screen, and then like I don't know if it's my computer like shutting stuff down, about to go to sleep, or what. But
Oh, so like your whole monitor does it, or just the game?
well, the game will go, and then I'll notice it'll start to kind of dim. So I don't know if it's a computer setting because I just updated not too long ago, but I'll keep an eye on it. I'll mess with it later. Oh.
Because I'm just curious if it's something the server's doing or not.
Well, it doesn't seem to be affecting my other tabs, but
Hmm.
there we go.
Interesting.
Not gonna roll. There we go. Oh, 12. Man, I am really in the 12 low teen stuff today.
All right. So you try and call out to them, and you get a response. Oh boy, do you get a response. It is deafening. And you, like at this point, you're probably like reaching up to like cover. It's like somebody's like yelling in your ears, but it's the worst kind of yelling. It's many voices all yelling different words that you can't really distinguish simultaneously in your ear, but it's in your head. So even if you like reach up to like cover your ears, like it's still there. Like there's no escaping the mind scream.
Because it's in my head already.
In your
Well,
head.
Kaido will see me like suddenly grab my head, be like, ah, what, quiet.
Oh shit.
And I'll just say, I'll kind of yell, like, be quiet.
I'm not saying anything. He's just gonna lift his hands up.
A perfect Kaido response. Ah, my head's exploding. Yeah, it's, well,
I
I mean,
didn't do it.
mine isn't.
It wasn't
So
me. Didn't do it.
No, I did
I'll
not do
kinda-
it. I had nothing to do with this.
I'll try and kind of push out, just like, oh, no, in my head. They're so loud. How do you not hear it? So,
They just don't
OOC,
give you a look of, what do you mean? How do I not hear it? I'm not nuts.
so OOC, what are my player options at this point? Like game functionality, what are some of my options?
So as far as mechanics go, you're not
Yeah.
stunned, but right now everything, pretty much any action you take is going to be at disadvantage
Okay.
until whatever this effect is no longer affecting you.
Okay. Well, I'll kind of probably just sit down and like hold my head, kind of mumbling, be like, quiet, quiet. And I don't know, I'll probably be saying it in my head as well. See if you guys will probably be able to hear me.
Yep, you guys could definitely hear that. You can hear Altani saying, like almost like they're talking. Would you know they're addressing you directly? Maybe Altani's trying to remind everybody to be quiet. I don't know.
I mean, it's gonna sound like I'm distressed, and I'll try and also send out a message like something's yelling at me in my head. But I don't know where it's coming
Using
from.
your head?
I don't know how to do that. It just
Don't you have a happy
is.
place? Have you never learned how to meditate?
I can try. and
Kaido's so
she'll think
helpful.
I love it. She'll think back to like being in the forest and the quiet of like a creek bubbling and birds chirping and it being very peaceful and quiet. Does my meditative attempt have any impact on it?
Well, it wouldn't necessarily make it stop, but it would
No.
be. It's a distraction.
To help separate me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I probably start hearing the whisper screams in my happy place.
Yeah. Like you try and go to a meadow, a silent alcove of safety and zen and security, and then it's just like a whole crowd of people just yelling at you constantly.
Awesome. So I'll probably just sit down in the path and kind of just hold my head until it slows down or stops.
Kaido's like, we gotta. He's not exactly sure what's going on, but he knows we can't stop moving because there are lives on the line. Granted, at this point, maybe ours as well.
Right?
He's gonna look at her like, I know it's loud in your head for whatever fucking reason. Do you know how it started?
Whispers in my head. So loud.
He's gonna get a look like, but whispers aren't loud, so I'm gonna guess you did something to start the loud. But he's not gonna ask again. He's gonna look at her like, do you think you can get on my saddle and we can try heading back to the others? I don't know what else to do.
Sure. And I'll climb up onto Kaito's saddle.
And he'll start heading back to the other two because he doesn't know what else to fucking do.
Do the
Clippity-clop.
whispers get any better the further we go back down the tunnel?
Yes. Just a
Mm.
little bit.
Okay.
You still be at disadvantage, but only on certain checks now because you did still fail, so there's still, there's still some negative that comes with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll kind of do my best to tell Kaito. It sounds like they're getting a little quieter. I think they really don't want us going down this way.
Ooh, a very good analogy of the situation, or I guess not the analogy. Imagine having mental tinnitus that just flares up, and it's like it's still there. Like when you're aware of it being there, it stays there. But when it first flares up, it's like, oh my god, what the? And then it's like, once you're aware it's there, then it's like, and it dies down a little bit because I mean that's how mine works. It's like if I think about it, it's like, oh, yep, there it is. But sometimes it just like flares up. It's like, oh, fuck, there it is.
Right.
Whoop, there it is. Sorry, it's
So-
where my brain went hearing that.
It's more of that I'm kind of almost like getting accustomed to it rather than it getting legitimately quieter from us moving back toward the entrance to the tunnel. Because I'm searching for clues as to like what it could be, why it's happening, that type of thing.
Why did you answer the voices? You never talk to voices if you don't know them.
Stranger danger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I figured maybe I could communicate with them. You don't know.
Oh, you're communicating all right.
Yeah, they did. Loudly. Kind of stick a finger in my ear and be like, I think it's getting a little better. Even though it's totally in my head and not my ear.
Moving at brisk Kaido pace, logically, how long will it take us to backtrack and then catch up to where Price and Wymack are on the other side?
Well, the first question I asked your team is, how fast are you trying to get back to them?
Kaido will be doing it quickly because he doesn't know what the fuck's going on with Altani, and he doesn't do magic bullshit. He knows Price does.
All right. And the second question will be for the second group of, are you guys continuing ahead, like continuing forward?
Yeah.
Yeah, I pictured we went around the hole and you just kept moving. cautiously, as Vimax suggested.
All right. So based on that, we will have Kaito, because at this point it's how long is it long? We'll do one like Constitution check just to see if you can keep running.
Okay. Um, will it be just a normal or advantage because of my running back throw?
Let's see. Let me check what your.
Because
What
the
was the
sport he
athlete
did
one?
was track and field,
Yeah, I'm just looking at
mostly track.
because didn't you take I remember you took a feat specifically for something
Athletic.
like this. I think was it the athlete or athlete? Hold on.
Athlete. There it is.
Eat. Oh, not speak with animals.
I just put it in the chat.
Oh, I didn't scroll down far enough. Let's see. Increase strength to dex. Climb, hop up, jumping.
But his backstory is he was a track runner. Now running is his, and he does it every morning. It's not like he doesn't jump on it.
I mean, just a normal roll. There's nothing that's like giving you a mega boost on it. That just make the DC easier. So yeah, you'd be fine running all the way there, especially with the speed boots and what have you. But in the time it takes for you to get back to them, we'll switch the camera over to them.
Yeah.
So each team has two narrative turns, as I like to call them.
Yeah, completely a-okay. I just was curious on my half. Oh.
So you two, continuing forward cautiously, can give me another perception. As at this point, I'm sure you're a little more conscious of things. Also, do either of you have a? You don't need to. Wait. Hold on. Devil Sight is checking something. What? Where did Clem go? Oh, there he is. Oh, that's what he did. Okay. Devil Sight. Magical darkness doesn't impede dark vision. Interesting. That's the new one? Hold on. He thinks they changed how Devil Sight works. What was the old one? Uh. 20. Oh, we might actually have to. We're using the updated imp now, because. And Clem's imp, right?
So it just has dark vision. 20.
Yeah, they changed that. Okay. Yeah, because this is one of them. One of the new changes. I guess oh yeah, because the new monster manual just came out recently. That's why. Okay. So yeah, they got rid of. Interesting. I'm gonna have to go through so many monsters and see what they changed. Because I remember the imp, like one of the big things for them was that whole like devil sight thing. It's like you could just see through invisibility. I think it was the old version. Let me check. Am I thinking of something different? Anyway, that's gonna be a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, it's magical darkness does not impede dark vision. Devil sight.
Yeah, magical darkness, but not like. I thought there was something that was like.
Oh, it does have devil sight. That's pretty cool.
Because there's something that I thought it used to be like you can see through like magical like invisibility and stuff. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of something else. Let's see. So
had
the
to
new
No, it
imp.
was just
Fire for that,
magical
but-
and before double sight.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else then. So let's see. The new imp is Dark Vision 120, unimpeded by magical. It has magic resistance. It has sting, shapeshift. It could resemble a rat, a raven, a spider, or it returns to its true form, and it has invisibility. So I guess they just got rid of Devil Sight and just said it's just part of its Dark Vision. Unless the Find Familiar version has a different stat block, which I don't think they would do that. New rules, new stuff to figure out. Anyway, so
And the imp should be in the player handbook.
because
it
the
should
one
be
I'm
in the
looking
new
at says
player
like the
handbook.
Monster Manual 25, so there's a PHB version maybe. Anyway,
So because it was a familiar.
yeah. Well, anyway, that'll be, we can research that later. So did you do a? I was gonna have you do a perception, right? So feel free to give me a perception.
Is it just Vimac or both of us?
Um,
Or Clem, I guess.
whoever's in the lead, because it would be whoever's in the lead would be have the potential of spotting things first. So with a 17, it looks like you've come to a bit of a cave-in of stone, like a rock cave-in. And it just kind of looks like the whole tunnel, like just the ceiling portion just collapsed inward, and there's like rubble everywhere. But with a 17, you do notice that there's like a yeah, we'll just go with it. You do notice that there's like a mole person size like opening that somebody might be able to crawl through. As if to say a mole person could fit into this bit of removed debris. I'll just lay that hint. It was a 17.
A mole person, that's also a price size.
The mole people were bigger than that. Price is like what, 2 feet tall?
Yeah, I'm like not even
It's
3
like
feet.
3. I thought.
3 feet with my hat.
Yeah, no, the mole people are about they're medium. Some of them were probably shorter because species can be like short or medium.
Was what he was getting at maybe that Price could go down that area to see what could be seen?
I mean, you could try.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
could say
hole.
Clem down there too.
It's a hole for at least a medium. Well, I'd say probably at most a medium creature.
Oh, so any medium creature? So like, because Vimac's medium when he's small, right? Or is he always large?
No, I'm medium, and then I get
Okay.
large.
Got it. So technically we could all go in there. Or they could, leave us behind. Whatever.
I'm kind of picturing like like Vimac was just kind of suggesting he could send Clem in there, and while Clem is maybe looking ahead or scouting around, we could maybe start to try and clear some of this out, make this expanse slightly larger. so maybe it would be easier for us.
Yeah, I'll send him in about 20 feet to see if he can notice anything.
So the the rock cave-in's only about like 10 feet, but it still takes a little. I mean, it's not a clear, easy path, but Clem is so small, it's pretty. It's like a tunnel to him, so they're able to pretty easily traverse to the other side. It's about a 10 feet worth of very difficult terrain to crawl through, which opens up into, the continuation of the hallway. And what appears to be some skellymanses that are all dead and decayed and decrepit, with rusty weapons, some of which look like weapons may have been jabbed into them.
Do you
Hmm.
describe your findings over our telepathic chat?
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell Bryce because he's right here. But I'll tell you, yeah, telepathically.
I'll relay it to Kaido too.
Skeletons, huh? This is getting weirder and weirder.
It sounds like whoever maybe made that side tunnel didn't make it, but I wonder if yeah, I'll ask Vimac, can you tell if those look like mole person remains or are they humanoid?
Do I need to check
More people are humanoid.
Nature check.
nature? Okay.
$14. Not mole people. Their bone structure seems pretty different.
Okay, I will relay. Not mole people.
Mm.
Because we just saw a bunch of mole people bones, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
would
we saw
recognize
pieces
them.
of them.
Well, but we also saw mole people bones. Well, wait, or did we?
No, we just saw
I don't know.
Pryscara slapped all over the damn place.
Mm-hmm.
And you just can't help but think back for a minute. These bones look a lot like the bones of the people you saw in the pit.
Hmm.
Mm.
Similar bones to the ones that died in the pit.
And at that point, I'd probably say after that little bit of exploration, that's when Kaido would you'd hear the clip clop of Kaido hoofs approaching very rapidly.
So I'll call Clem back. And then are we clearing the space? Price?
I kind of assumed that, like, depending on how it was all set up, Clem was kind of scouting, and then in that same time, maybe we were just kind of like trying to move some pieces just to make it easier if we wanted to go through there. But um, yeah, I don't know what we want to do.
Warlock, Archfey. Archfey Warlock. Well, you've all reconvened. So you can put your heads together. Well, maybe not Kalia, or Altani, because, you know. And also,
Stuck around
oh
and
yeah,
found out.
that reminds me. So, as you're approaching Altani, the voices do start getting louder again. Like, the further in you get in these tunnels is just louder. Keep saying Kalia. It's Altani.
I'll probably grab my head again and relay to Kaito, like, oh, they're getting louder again. They really don't want us going down these tunnels. Which means we probably should. I'll just bear with it.
So, like, keep going.
Well, yeah. I mean, eventually you'll catch up with the others if you do. Is the TLDR. Nothing will happen in between you going from where you were to Vimac and Price.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it. Let's catch up with them.
Righto.
Act. Change. Casting. Yes. Yeah, well, while they're figuring that out. Okay, here it is. You can see normally in dim light
So
and
are we
darkness.
going through here or back the other way?
I think. I don't know. We'll. I'll reach out to Kalia. Are we gonna try to clear this tunnel, or are we going your way?
Are you
I
saying
mean,
that
these
mentally or physically?
Mentally, yeah.
Oh, that's drowned out. Another
You
voice is
probably only
added to the
hear-
cacophony.
You probably just hear me mumbling. It's like so loud. Quiet. Yeah, so I'm not responding to you. I'm just kind of still mumbling because they're yelling in my head.
Picked up the chain.
Although, since I don't know if they can hear me, my teammates, I will think I'll be like, "We're on our way to you guys. Need to get to the end of this tunnel."
So, Price, let's go ahead and start clearing out. I will. I will grab the high stuff if you want to work on the lower stuff.
Meanwhile,
All right.
poor Altani is just over there, like, in the fetal position, like, rocking back and forth, just like a mad woman. Get out of my head!
I can ride on Kaito.
He has been.
Oh, I am.
So, clearing rubble. There's 10 feet of rubble to have to clear. So who's all clearing rubble? Price and Vimac?
Mm-hmm.
If they're still working on it when we get there, kind of would help. I don't know how soon we get there from the clearing.
All right. And are you trying to clear like the whole tunnel, or just enough for you guys to squeeze through, or just enough to like comfortably like walk single file through? Because that does determine time.
Just enough to judging enough for Kaito to be able to make it through. So it's probably gonna take a little longer than just myself. But knowing Kaito's size.
All right. But there'll be three of
I'm going
you.
to say thank you.
All right, so if it's the three of you working on it, it would take about 5, 10 divided by, okay. So it'd take about 15 minutes or so to clear enough of it because, you know, for one, the stone is heavy, but for two, it's like the cave-in was pretty bad. Like the only thing holding up some of it was the fact that enough rock had fell that it was just holding up the other stuff. So like you try and clear some of it, and like another like big like chunk of rock will fall, or a few more will fall, and you got to clear those until there's enough clearance above it that there's not stone just waiting to, you know, waiting for gravity to take part. So basically, Altani will be sitting there in excruciating tinnitus for about 15 minutes of people yelling at her. Rar. And, you know, in that 15 minutes, I say 10, 15 minutes, in that time frame, you can give me, Altani can give me a Arcana, but it will be at disadvantage because it's really hard to concentrate and figure out what's going on, because you're just sitting here just like trying to do your best to occupy your mind and like try and ignore the voices, but like I said, yelling in ears hard to ignore.
I'll wait. I'll sit with it for a bit more.
All right. So eventually the rubble is cleared. No checks really needed. You're taking your time. You're just moving stuff, getting rocks out of the way. And there's enough room for even Kaito to get through there.
Yay.
Powerful build. That's the one that gets carry weight. Yeah. He's lucky. He doesn't even use his luck stuff. That's funny. So what do y'all do?
I assume we go through once it's cleared.
And I suggest I do go last, just in case it starts to collapse. That Kaito can push through.
All right. Well, you've cleared enough of it that you don't have to worry about that. So you push on through. And on the other side, you are greeted with the continuation of this hallway, except a distinct difference from the one you were technically still in, technically not still in because it's behind you now. But yeah, distinct difference. There's a lot of skeletal remains here and a lot of rusty old weapons. Some look like they had arrows lodged in them, but due to the amount of time that has passed, yeah. And you even see like piles on the ground where it looks like there might have been bodies, but whatever, these just have been here for so long that you could probably just ascertain that was probably a body, that because you probably see like a piece of like rusted, like a rusted metal arrow tip sticking in like one of the piles. It's like kind of sticking out of it. Whatever organic material has long since just either been chewed on by the denizens of the cave or time. If anything, it's a miracle that some of these skeletons are still here.
Does anybody want to check them to make sure they don't turn into a larger skeleton thing?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
So how you trying? What are you trying to glean information wise?
Hopefully, they find out they're not like the other skeleton remains we've been running into, and get animated.
Are you able to like tell if anything in here is magical?
Hmm. No. But I can dispel it if it is.
Well, I guess just try and be really careful.
Oh no. Figure with us moving forward, it'd be wise to try that Arcana check now. I'll go ahead and use my inspiration from last round. I can, right? On this?
Yeah, I was just checking something.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right. Better than at least in that one.
Yeah, whatever. You roll with it.
Mm.
It is. And also, just remember in the new system. So let's see. So basically you're re-rolling the 1. So that would be the 17 then.
Oh, right. It's just the
Because
next
remember, you're
roll.
only re-rolling 1 dice. You're
Yeah.
not double re-rolling the advantage. It's just picking one because,
Mm-hmm.
you're just
Thank
getting
you.
rid of that one.
Excellent.
Don't thank me. That's a rule.
Well, thank you for the reminder.
So what does that come out to with plus 0, so just a base 17?
Mhm.
So it is perfect that you're the one who got it. So you went through with Kaito, and the voices in your head, quote unquote, ear-piercingly loud. But as you make that Arcana to ascertain, like, can these things like come to life? Just as you reach that conclusion that, I mean, all things considered, yeah, they definitely could. You see all the skeletons in the hallway simultaneously look at you. Their heads turned towards you.
Uh-oh. I
That
guess that answers that question.
is where we're gonna wrap up the session.
Nice. Good cliffhanger for next week.
Maybe make sure I put that in my notes that's where we left off.
That was good.
Yeah. Very suspenseful. Well, thanks, guys. I'm excited to see where this goes next week.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully, we're
Look
not
forward
eaten
to
by
it.
skeletons.
Don't say that. We're gonna get eaten now.
I just said hopefully. I wasn't being too cocky.
Wouldn't being eaten entail them like having to digest? They're just skeletons.
No, it just means usually masticating, like bitten to death. And we don't need that. They're not going to gain nourishment from eating us, but it doesn't mean that they can't still eat us.
I mean, like a mosquito.
Either way, you know what? I'd be okay with them just being mosquito sized. We can go with that.
Are you sure? Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah. I like that.
Tiny little mosquito skeletons. That'd be hilarious.
Mosquito
Be like,
swarm.
not a
Mosquitoes
swarm.
have extra
Only as many as
skeletons,
are
so they
there.
would still look like a mosquito.
Maybe. But it's like if they were just the skeletons that we see in front of us, but they were mosquito sized, that would be what I was meaning. Not multiplying them by swarming them. Nice try. But yeah. Well,
I'm putting that in
have
my
a good night.
notes. Mosquito
Better not.
skeletons.
All right. And then we'll have to like maybe make some weather to get like zappy electricity going so that we can make a little mosquito swatter.
I mean, you have
All right.
somebody with lightning bolt.
I know exactly. That's true. All right, night guys.
Good night.
All right,
Night.
Y'all
bye.
take care.
And I gotta figure out how to. I'll probably have to do a 2-parter upload to YouTube because my internet cut. Nah.
I believe in you.
It
Alright.
happens. Anywho,
Have a good one.
bye. All right. So, with that being said, that was fun. Just making sure I'm getting all this stuff in my notes as I simultaneously wrap up the stream. So, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you sticking around through my internet cutting out. Sucks, but it happens. So let's see. The plan, I should have the VODs. It might be a 2-parter because, you know, that's how it works. On the Yubles Tubles. Should have it up there by Monday as per usual. And for those of you watching on the Yubles Tubal, how do I keep calling it that? I don't know. I'm weird. The YouTube side, we do this over on Twitch, twitch.tv/cube222. I run 2 D&D games. This is the second that I usually run in the week. This one is at 5:30 Pacific on Wednesdays, and the other one is usually Tuesdays at 7:40 Pacific. I know, 2 different times, but scheduling boss is a thing. Oh, I need to hydrate too. So, with that, let's send y'all. I know exactly who to send you to. So I hope y'all have a wonderful morning, evening, or whatever it is in between for you, even at the time of you watching this on the Yubles Tools, possibly. Words. Yeah. Feel free to stick around for a couple minutes as I send y'all's over to another Dungeon Master. You know, sharing the wealth, passing along, you know what I'm saying? Know what I mean? I think that's all the announcements I can think of. I'll be back at it tomorrow at the usual 6 o'clock Pacific time for some variety. We got some neat games coming up soon. Yeah. With that, have yourselves a lovely evening. And hopefully your internet holds up better than mine tonight. But until next time, peace.